If this is how your Sims game still looks in 2025, then you need to consider trying out one of these 10 presets that I'm going to show you for Reshade today in this video. The original Sims 4 lighting is bland, it's dull, it's dim, it's boring. Before we start, if you want to see how to download Reshade itself, go and check out my installation guide, which will be linked in the description and in the top right of this video now. That video explains to you how to install the Reshade plugin and also install presets. But maybe you've already downloaded Reshade and you just can't find a preset that's right for you. So I'm going to show you 10 Reshade presets today to make your game go from looking like this to something a little more like this. Just a disclaimer, these are not ordered from favorite to least favorite or anything like that. These are just 10 presets which I think will make your game look good for regular gameplay. There's also a couple that do really well for screenshots and machinimas. So number one is my main Reshade that I use all the time. So whenever you watch one of my videos and you see my game looking really pretty, this is the preset I use to make my game look that way. So this is 𝙨 2.0 by 𝙨𝙘𝙘𝙞𝙖𝙡 on Tumblr. It's a very nice, simple Reshade. It doesn't add too much craziness into the game. It's not super obvious that you've got a Reshade. It just makes it look so much nicer and prettier, and things are clearer. The colours are brighter. This is why I use it all the time, because I think it's really good for videos. It also doesn't affect my performance with my game. If I played The Sims without Reshade and also with this preset, my game runs the exact same way. So if you're looking for a Reshade preset that doesn't change the performance of your game too much, then definitely check out 𝙨 2.0 by 𝙨𝙘𝙘𝙞𝙀. Here we are in Create a Sim with the same sim and the same Reshade preset. As you can see, I have a plain white Create a Sim background, which with some Reshade presets might be a bit bright and obnoxious, but with this preset, there is no glare, there is no over saturation. The sim looks perfectly cute as she is, and nothing is being altered or changed too much. The game just looks a lot clearer and brighter, which I really love. The next preset I'm going to show you is called Citrus Drops by Simdal. This one apparently was made mainly to take screenshots. I think this would work best for things like thumbnails when you want the background blurred and your sim in focus. A little disclaimer for this one as well, you must have the correct shaders downloaded. So if you go and check out my Reshade tutorial, then I will show you during the installation that you can download a bunch of different effects and shaders. Make sure you download every single one to make sure that every preset you use will work, but there's also some additional ones that come in the zip file when you download this preset anyway. So they have supplied us with a couple of toggle keys for this preset. If you press caps lock, it toggles the blur. When I press caps lock, it gets very blurry. There's also a toggle for MXAO, which, as you can see, if I toggle it off, there'll be less shadows, which could help performance for you. Make sure if you use this preset, you turn off edge smoothing in your game settings, or it won't look the same. Now, as mentioned, this is mainly for screenshots. As you can see, the game is very blurry. It's not exactly playable. So if you want a Reshade that's going to be perfect for making thumbnails that you won't need to overly edit for your YouTube videos, then definitely consider this one. I use this one a lot for when I'm taking thumbnails because it means I don't need to edit the background. It's a little cheat code. But if you do like the way that the lighting looks in this preset and you want to play with it without the blur, you can actually turn it off in the settings. If you press home and press active to top, this will put all the active effects to the top. Find light DOF far, which is depth of field, and turn that off, and there you go. You can then use the preset without the crazy depth of field blur. Of course, I'm going to show you how this preset looks in Create a Sim as well as live mode. It is very bright. So some of you may not like how bright this one is in Create a Sim, but it's still not overly bright to the point where you can't see what you're doing. Next up, we have Herbal Haze by MilkyCC on Tumblr. This one, again, very similar to the last two, I know, but it's a lot more saturated. So if you like a more saturated, high vibrancy look, this one's definitely for you. Same thing in CAS. Very saturated, very bright. It might manipulate colours a little bit because of the high saturation, so if you're trying to make characters or sims that you want to put on the gallery, just remember the fact that the colours you use for skin tones, hair colour, things like that might be a little bit off for what other people are going to see on the gallery, but nonetheless it's very beautiful, very well made, and also it's not very taxing on your performance. As there aren't tons and tons of effects active, it means that it still works very well in the game and it doesn't damage your performance at all. Now this one is quite the contrast to the last few that I've shown you. If you would like quite a softer look with lots of shadows, then I highly recommend Crisper by the Blonde Simmer on Patreon. This is compatible with both Reshade and G-Shade. I only recommend Reshade and provide tutorials for Reshade, but if you know how G-Shade works, this preset works with that too. I love this preset so much. I never use it because I do prefer a brighter, more vibrant preset for filming, but it is beautiful. Again, it does come with the depth of field effect, which is playable. Like, it's not too over the top to the point where you can't play with it. It mainly just blurs the background, as you can see. I am just kind of moving around now and only the background is blurred. So it's definitely still playable like this. I, wouldn't say you have to get rid of the depth of field just to play the game. But like I said, same thing goes. If you want to get rid of it, just find the DOF effects and switch them off and it'll all be fine. It also looks beautiful in Create a Sim. However, the depth of field effects do mess up the UI a little bit, so make sure you turn them off before you go into Create a Sim. It's the shadows and the softness. Oh, it just looks so good. Look how amazing she looks. I love the shadows. I would definitely recommend this one. Bear in mind though, it does tax your performance a little tiny bit. I have quite a good PC and can run quite a lot of presets, but it did lag a little bit when going into Create a Sim, so just bear that in mind. So this preset is posted as being mainly for in-game screenshots and to colour up your game. It is called Strawberry Sugar by Lady Simmer. As beautiful as it is, I probably would not play with this regularly, but this would be so amazing for filming like early sunset, early sunrise maybe, kind of shots if you're filming machinimas or storylines. It also gives me major like 2016 Instagram filter vibes. If you know, you know. I'm talking about that one specific Instagram filter everyone used to use on their pictures. It looks kind of like that and it's really pretty. In Create a Sim, it is quite blinding. She literally looks like the sun. But it is also very beautiful. Again, if you wanted to take Create a Sim screenshots, this would be perfect. I probably wouldn't recommend creating a sim with this preset, but it was posted as a screenshot preset, so this is not me hating or anything like that. It is a beautiful preset, but I'd probably stick to using it for screenshots and machinimas. For number 6, we have another softer looking preset, which is called Starry Dust by Starry 𝙨𝙘𝙘𝙖𝙡𝙨. I think we definitely needed to mix in some more softer presets compared to the other high vibrancy ones I have shown you before. This one, again, so beautiful. Kind of similar to Crisper in the softer way, but it's a bit better for performance actually because it uses a few less effects. It is a cool toned soft preset which does have a slight depth of field blur, but nowhere near as extreme as some of the other ones I showed you. But you can actually turn this off very simply. The creator has provided us with a toggle shortcut, which if you press Shift and 2, that turns off. But as you can see, hardly a difference. The blur is very, very subtle. There is also a slight fog, which you can also toggle off with Shift and 3. So here is it on, here is it off. Again, this probably better for when you want to do screenshots, things like that, and playing the actual game. You can just have it off. Here is it in Create a Sim. Although the blur is subtle, you're definitely better off turning it off in CAS, as it does blur the UI once again. This is so pretty. Oh my god. This is like, it looks like a really thin cloud has like covered my monitor. That sounds so silly, but that's kind of what it feels like. It's really pretty, really soft. But once again, as for all of these presets, make sure you turn edge smoothing off in your game settings. Okay, so this is the next preset. This is Senshi 4.0 by 𝙨𝙬𝙘𝙀𝙀. This was actually mentioned to me by a commenter on my Reshade tutorial. Now, this one, as you can probably tell, doesn't do much to the lighting. If I turn off the preset to the regular Sims lighting, it is very, very similar. The thing it adds is this kind of satisfying black outline on the sim and also kind of makes the quality of the sim look a bit better. This creator, 𝙨𝙬𝙀𝙀𝙀, does have other versions of this preset. This version in particular is apparently a super toned down version of their previous presets, and this is the only one that should work perfectly in CAS and regular gameplay. So I would recommend this one mainly for Create a Sim. This is how it looks in CAS. I think it looks really good. It adds this really sharp outline to the character, which makes it just easier to kind of make a sim, I guess. I don't know, it just looks better in CAS, I think. This also, because it doesn't affect the lighting too much, means that whatever you put on your sim is going to look the same for everyone across the Sims 4 gallery. So as I said before, with some of the more high saturated ones, you might give your sim a specific skin tone, a specific hair colour, something like that, which on your screen looks great because of the reshade, but on other people's screens might not look as good if they downloaded your sim. But as I said, this creator does have different versions of this reshade, so if you like the outline look and you like the overall vibe of this reshade, but you'd want a brighter, different lighting version of this reshade, go and check out their Patreon as they are all on there. Okay, we are nearly there. So this is the 8th preset that I would recommend to any of you out there. This one is Minty Fresh by Reshade. It is a very shadowy preset, kind of gives me tropical vibes. I know it sounds so silly, but it just so does. Maybe that's just actually where my sim is. I definitely sound stupid. I'm literally in 𝙨𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙖𝙡, of course it gives me tropical vibes. I am really into presets with very deep shadows, dramatic shadows. I think it looks really good. Reshade wrote on their Patreon post that this preset is optimized to be used for both gameplay and screenshots by flipping MXAO on or off. So MXAO is the shadows. MXAO works fine for gameplay on high powered PCs, otherwise I recommend playing with it off. So if you really like this preset but it's not working too well on your PC or laptop, then consider turning MXAO off. You can do that here by just toggling this off. It does get rid of the shadows, but it still gives you the overall vibe of the preset. Here is the preset in Create a Sim. I think this is a perfect level of brightness and saturation, and then also shadows. I think it looks really good. As I said, I have very bright white background. If you had a darker one, then your sim would stand out a lot more, I can imagine, but I can't say that too much because I do have a very bright background. I like to be able to see everything I'm doing. I like having a very bright base. Overall, amazing preset, which you should definitely check out. Okay, so next up we have another soft pastel-y looking reshade. This one is a Tower Milk Tea by 𝙨𝙘𝙘𝙞𝙖𝙡. 𝙨𝙘𝙘𝙀 is one of my favorite reshade preset creators, by the way. They are literally beautiful. They look so good all the time. Every single one without fail, amazing. So if you want to kind of do some little shopping around for a preset, definitely check out 𝙨𝙘𝙀𝙀. This one used to be my main, by the way, so if you check out some of my older Sims videos, then you can definitely tell that my game was a lot softer looking. As much as I love this for playing on my own, I just prefer using a brighter one for my filming, but this one I love for when I'm playing and I just want more of a relaxing gameplay. If it's late at night and I'm just sat at my PC wanting to play some Sims or creating a sim, I love to use this one as it's a very, very soft and relaxing. Here is it in Create a Sim. Same thing, so soft, so pretty, so just beautiful. I love it. Love making Sims with this preset. I think it's just a lot less taxing on the eyes. As someone who wears glasses for using screens, I think this one is a lot more relaxing to look at and a lot less kind of in your face, I think. So it's very calming. Finally, we have a very, very dramatic and moody preset, which looks kind of crazy right now. Just trust the process. This one is called Ethereal Twilight by 𝙨𝙤𝙘𝙀𝙀𝙀. It is, of course, very, very dramatic and moody, and definitely would be best for, like I said before, machinimas and screenshots. As you can see, very highly depth of field and blur. You can also do this, which I'm confused. I don't understand that. I think that's bringing forward the depth of field. I don't know, I'm confused. Kind of understandably, they use cinematic DOF, which makes a lot of sense because it's a very cinematic looking preset. And if you turn that off, the game actually runs very smoothly considering the amount of effects. And it still looks really pretty and kind of ethereal, as the name suggests. My sim looks a little bit funky. This probably is something to do with the sharpness. Yeah, so if you turn off DELC sharpen, then you have a bit more of a softer look without the sim looking too crazy. This is so beautiful. Like I said, definitely good for machinimas. I think this one was meant to be for nighttime as well, so maybe if we make it night real quick. Wow, that is so cool. It does mess up the UI a little bit and notifications and stuff like that, so I would say to probably stick to this one if you're making machinimas. Like, imagine this preset in like a spooky, like, horror machinima when your sim's like walking home or something at night time and something really dramatic happens. Like, I think that would work really well. Again, here it looks in Create a Sim. Surprisingly not too over the top in Create a Sim as I thought it would be. It is still actually manageable to maybe make a sim with this in CAS and not be too overwhelmed or confused. So thank you so much for everyone for watching. I really hope this helped you find a new reshade preset that you want to try out or use for future gameplay. All 10 of these presets and their creators will be linked in the description down below, so you can easily access them and support the creator directly. Make sure to check out my Reshade tutorial to know how to download this and get these in your game, and I will see you in my next video.